Hello everyone, welcome to the October Film Diary. I am the Arty Dans. You are watching either the Shockmania or the Arty Dans channels. Now there was 19 movies that I watched this month that I would love to tell you about. 7 were Asian, 12 were non-Asian. So if you're watching this on the Arty Dans, you're only going to see the Asian films. If you're watching this on Shockmania, you're going to see everything. So let's get cracking. Now, onto the Asian component of the films that I watched. 7 Asian films. And I think the headline Asian film that I watched this month was The Sisters, the Vietnamese film called Gam. I saw that in the cinema all by myself, the whole cinema to myself. And I loved the experience. It was fabulous. And it's possibly why I really, really enjoyed the film, maybe much more than I should have. I thought it was a 4 out of 5 ghost film. I loved the lore. It's kind of a Vietnamese spin on Cinderella. So it follows the tale of Cinderella, but adds a couple of other elements such as the family of the father, the previous generations making a pact with a forest demon who grants them eternal wealth, but needs a sacrifice all the time, or every 10 years. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought the acting was good, far better than anything I've seen in a Vietnamese horror film. The special effects were absolutely fabulous. Camera work was great. Music was great. Audio, top notch. Everything about the film just screamed best Vietnamese horror movie ever. And it's not saying much because I've seen about 20 Viet horror movies and they've almost all been terrible other than Kumanthong. But Sisters definitely was good. Went over to Thailand. I didn't go to Thailand, but picking up a Thai film, I watched Haunted Universities 3, a comedy anthology horror film. Now, I don't like anthology movies at all, but finding myself more and more lately as I watch them, starting to enjoy them. I have seen the previous 2 Haunted Universities movies, and I did enjoy them. In fact, I'm pretty sure I really enjoyed the second one, which was called Second Semester. The tales in this one are just as good. So there's one where these 2 people make a pact with this evil god, that they can both go to this university course because there's only one spot available. So she grants it to them, and then something happens there at the end. Another tale involved a guy who takes I don't know what it's called, it's like a wreath off a shrine and gives it to his partner, who's a beautiful singer. She loses her voice, and then the demon inside the shrine chases after them, and they've got to try and kind of put the soul to rest. That was quite good. I'm struggling to think what the third one was about. What was the third? Oh, the third tale was about what do you call it? Like not partners, like when you start university and you take on a lower level person to kind of mentor. That's the word I'm looking for. It's kind of like this mentoring system where the seniors have to look after a junior, and all of a sudden this junior starts getting all these great gifts from the senior, and the senior's thinking, well, I'm not the one doing this, and find out that it's a bit of a ghost from the past. That's not bad. Thai comedy horrors are very hit and miss. Like, I'm looking at those Peanuck movies, which are awful films, but they do have their charm in the characters, but they're truly awful films. The Haunted Universities goes for actual scares. It does actually try and make it a movie scary. If it doesn't, they're creepy, but the characters are great. That's what I actually like about the Haunted Universities movies. Well, even while they're 30-minute segments, even though you don't get to know the characters for very long, they are still always really great, and they're good tales. Now, someone recommended a Taiwanese film called Mon 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 Monsters, and I tried to watch it. I really did. Again, I think I lasted about 25, 30 minutes. Again, it was the same issue with every other film that I've stopped watching this month. It was the characters. I couldn't connect with any of the teenagers in it. I thought they were all just incredibly hideous people. Even the main bully boy, I thought, just it could have been better. So I didn't watch the end of Mon Mon Monsters, so I can't tell you what I fully thought of it. I think there was potential there. I've probably missed potentially a really good movie, I think, because I did like the 2 sister monsters beings, whatever they were, that were living in the apartment complex. But I just couldn't put up with the characters long enough to find out more. So I'm sorry about that one. Now, Indonesia always scores big with the movies that I watch. So I watched 3 Indonesian movies. Respati, which I'm now struggling to think of what it was about because it was at the start of the month. But I'm pretty sure it was about a boy who could see deaths. And I remember enjoying it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. But I do remember enjoying Respati. Yep. Do you see what I see? Which was a film about a girl who gets a boyfriend who's a pocong when she goes to visit her parents' grave on her birthday. And this pocong changes her life, and she starts doing all these really weird things. Her friends kind of look out for her, and then she finds out with her sister and there's the help of some psychic who lives on the campus that her family has made a pact with some demon, beast, Indonesian jinn, and that they need to get rid of this curse, and the boyfriend will go away. It was actually quite a fun film. I'm not explaining it well, I'm not doing it justice. It was fun. Temurun was the other one. That was truly awful. Truly awful. A movie that I kind of was enjoying, or I was hoping I would enjoy, about this brother and sister whose mum gets murdered, and they return to their ancestral family home, father's home, being told that they're going to take over a meat business, but in reality, the daughter is going to be sacrificed to a jinn demon in order for the matriarch to continue having eternal youth, some bullshit like that. The movie just abruptly ended and implied that they had finished the ritual, complete ritual, and that everyone was fucked, essentially. I didn't like it. It didn't explain a lot of stuff very well, and wasn't good. And finally, this is super micro, no budget film. It's called Barikowa, or Crazy Scary. It's from Japan. It's a series of short tales. So it's an anthology movie on steroids. There's probably about 8 to 10 tales in the movies, and they're all just really short, scary stories. Like, one of them is about a girl who's sleeping, who wakes up but doesn't wake up, and she can see herself sleeping. Another one is about a girl moves in who is trying to have a shower in a hotel room, and there's a ghost or a demon in a bathtub. Another one's about this guy who takes this job where he's got to bathe a corpse in the bath, and he can start hearing the corpse. It's talking to her, but he's actually getting high on all the formaldehyde and chemicals, and then he does something like tries to break her free, and then it was a bit weird, to be honest. But for a micro budget film, it actually wasn't too bad. All done by one guy. Who was the director, he was the writer, he was the producer, he even acted in a couple of bits. So there's one dude who did all this work on this film, and in the end, it wasn't too bad. He didn't do too bad. It's a great way for a youngster in Japan to get started. So hopefully, we get to see more of this guy. Well, that was my October film diary. October horror film diary. 19 films in total, 7 Asian, 12 non-Asian. What did you watch in October? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you saw any of the movies that I saw and what you thought of them. I'm always keen to know what you guys think of the movies that I watch and the movies that I talk about. Otherwise, I am the Arty Dans. You're either watching the Arty Dans or the SHOCKMANIA YouTube channels. I appreciate you either way. Consider subscribing if you'd like. Otherwise, I hope I can catch you next time.